The alarm clock rang at 5:30 a.m. in the underground bunker. Director Kang Dae-ho opened his eyes and sat up in his narrow bed. Another day of lies was about to begin. He walked down the metal hallway deep beneath Seoul. The bunker was 300 feet underground. No alien scanner could see it. The walls were thick steel covered with special materials that blocked all signals. This place did not exist on any map. Even the president of Korea did not know about it. Kang reached the main control room. Dozens of screens covered the walls. Each screen showed a different part of Earth. Some showed villages with mud houses. Others showed people working in fields with wooden tools. All fake. "Good morning, Director," said Dr. Park Hye-jin. She was already at her desk, watching the screens. Her coffee was still hot. "Any visitors last night?" Kang asked. 3 scanner drones flew over Japan. Lieutenant Colonel Lee's team was ready. The actors played their parts perfectly. Kang nodded. For 30 years, humanity had played the greatest trick in history. The aliens thought Earth was a primitive world. They thought humans were simple farmers who had never been to space. They were very wrong. Dr. Park pointed to her main screen. It showed space above Earth. 3 small objects moved slowly across the view. They looked like rocks, but they were not rocks. They were alien spy drones. "The hegemony sends them every week," she said. "They take pictures and check for radio signals. They want to make sure we are still primitive." Kang smiled. The aliens were smart, but not smart enough. They saw exactly what humans wanted them to see. In another part of the bunker, engineer Kim Jae-won checked his equipment. He controlled the hologram machines that hid Earth's real cities. Every major city on Earth had these machines. They made the cities invisible to alien eyes. Instead, the aliens saw empty fields and small villages. Kim's screens showed the power, levels for each machine. All green, all working perfectly. The city of Tokyo was hidden under the image of a rice field. New York looked like a forest. London appeared to be grassland with a few sheep. "Beautiful work," Kim said to himself. The hologram system had taken 15 years to build. It was his greatest creation. The aliens had no idea that millions of people lived normal lives just a few feet below their fake images. Above ground, in what looked like a simple farming village, Lieutenant Colonel Lee Sung-min walked between the mud houses. He wore old clothes and carried a wooden bucket. To any watching alien, he was just a farmer doing morning work. But Lee was actually a decorated military officer. The village around him was full of soldiers and scientists. They all lived like ancient farmers whenever alien drones came near. It was hard work, but it was important work. "Drone approaching from the south," said a voice in Lee's hidden earpiece. 2 minutes until visual contact." Lee nodded and walked to the well. He began drawing water with the old rope and bucket. Around him, other farmers came out of their houses. They started their daily work, feeding chickens, milking cows, fixing fences. The alien drone flew overhead. Its cameras recorded everything. It saw humans using simple tools and living simple lives. It did not see the elevator hidden under the EU. Well, it did not see the high-tech equipment inside the houses. It did not see the small fusion reactor buried under the chicken house. The drone flew away. Lee smiled and spoke into his earpiece. "All clear. The show is over." Far above Earth, in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, Captain Yoon So-young stood on the bridge of her warship. The ship was huge, bigger than any building on Earth. Its hull was black and covered with stealth materials. No alien scanner could detect it. Through the ship's windows, Yoon could see dozens of other human ships. Battleships, carriers, destroyers, all hidden from alien eyes, all armed with weapons that could destroy planets. "Status report," Yoon said to her crew. "All systems working perfectly, Captain," said her second officer. "The quantum torpedo tubes are loaded and ready. The shield generators are at full power." Yoon nodded. Her ship alone could defeat the entire hegemony fleet that was watching Earth. But the aliens must never know that. Not yet. Back in the bunker, Director Kang walked to the history room. The walls were covered with pictures and documents. They told the real story of humanity's last 30 years. It started in 1995, when Earth's radio telescopes first detected alien signals. The messages were clear: stay primitive or be destroyed. The Galactic Assembly had rules. Advanced species could not interfere with primitive worlds. But if a world became too advanced, it might become a threat. Threats were eliminated. So humanity made a choice. They would become advanced in secret. They would let the aliens think Earth was still primitive. They would use the time to become stronger than any alien species. The plan worked. Humanity reverse-engineered alien technology from crashed scout ships. They built fusion reactors and faster-than-light engines. They created weapons that made alien guns look like toys. They did all of this while pretending to be simple farmers. Kang looked at a picture on the wall. It showed the first human colony ship leaving Earth. The ship was invisible to alien sensors. It had traveled to a distant star system and built a secret colony. Now humanity had settlements on 12 worlds. The aliens knew about none of them. Dr. Park joined Kang in the history room. "The morning scan is complete," she said. "No suspicious alien activity. Ambassador Vorthak's ship is still in standard orbit. He suspects nothing." Kang felt proud and worried at the same time. The masquerade had worked for 3 decades, but it was getting harder every year. Humanity was growing stronger and more impatient. Some people wanted to reveal the truth. They wanted to show the galaxy that humans were not primitive farmers. "How much longer can we keep this up?" Dr. Park asked. Kang did not answer. He knew the masquerade could not last forever. Someday humanity would have to face the galaxy as equals. When that day came, the aliens would learn a terrible truth. The species they thought was primitive was actually the most dangerous force in the galaxy. In space, the alien drones continued their patrol. They recorded everything they saw. Primitive humans living simple lives. No technology, no space travel, no threat to galactic peace. The drones sent their reports to Ambassador Vorthak. He read them and felt satisfied. Earth was still a primitive world. The humans were still harmless farmers. The galaxy was safe. Ambassador Vorthak had no idea that he was sitting on top of the greatest lie in galactic history. He had no idea that the primitive humans were watching his every move. He had no idea that they had weapons pointed at his ship right now. The masquerade continued. Another day of lies had begun. But deep in the bunker beneath Seoul, Director Kang Dae-ho knew that someday soon, the lies would end. And when they did, the galaxy would never be the same. Maintenance Chief Oh Tae-young was having the worst day of his life. He was fixing the hidden power grid under the fake village in Japan. The work was almost done. Just one more connection to make. Oh was tired. He had been working for 12 hours straight. The alien drones had been scanning all day. Everyone in the village had to keep acting like primitive farmers. It was exhausting. He reached for his tool belt and grabbed what he thought was his screwdriver. Instead, he grabbed his personal cloaking device. The small device fell from his hands and hit the ground. Hard. The cloaking device broke. Sparks flew everywhere. For exactly 5 seconds, the device sent out a massive energy signature. Every scanner in the solar system detected it. "No, no, no," Oh shouted. But it was too late. In space, Science Officer Kylaxia's instruments went crazy. Her screens lit up with warnings and alarms. The energy signature was enormous. It came from the exact spot where she was watching primitive humans work in their fields. "Impossible," she whispered. Then she smiled. Finally, proof. Kylaxia ran a full-spectrum analysis of the energy burst. The results were clear. The signal came from an advanced personal cloaking device. The technology was at least Class 8 level, more advanced than anything the hegemony had. "Ambassador Vorthak," she called. "Come quickly. I have found the evidence." "We need." Ambassador Vorthak rushed to her station. He looked at the scan results. His reptilian face showed shock and anger. "A cloaking device," he said slowly, "on a primitive world. That is impossible." "It is not impossible, sir. It is the truth. The humans are not primitive. They never were. They have been lying to us for decades. Ambassador Vorthak felt rage building inside him. The hegemony had been fooled. Made to look stupid, this could not be allowed. Send a message to the Galactic Assembly, he ordered. Tell them we have discovered a deceptive species, a species that has been breaking galactic law. On Earth, Director Kang watched, his screens in horror. Every monitoring station showed the same thing. The aliens had detected the cloaking device. The masquerade was over. All units, this is Director Kang, he said into his communicator. The masquerade has failed. Prepare for full revelation protocol. This is not a drill. Around the world, humans received the message. In the fake villages, the actors stopped pretending. In the underground cities, people prepared for what came next. In space, the hidden fleet powered up their weapons. Dr. Park Hee-jin stood beside Director Kang. Are you sure about this? She asked. Once we reveal ourselves, there is no going back. Kang nodded. We always knew this day would come. The question is not if, but how. We can reveal ourselves, or we can let them discover us piece by piece. I choose to control the revelation. Kang walked to the main communication console. He activated the planetary broadcast system. Every human on Earth and in the secret colonies would hear his message. So would every alien in the solar system. Citizens of Earth, Kang began. Today our long masquerade ends. For 30 years we have hidden our true nature from the galaxy. We pretended to be primitive farmers while we built the most advanced civilization in known space. Today, we show the galaxy who we really are. Kang pressed a button. All around Earth, the holographic projectors shut down. The fake images of empty fields and simple villages disappeared. In their place, the real Earth appeared. Massive cities with towers reaching into the clouds, flying cars moving between floating platforms, space elevators stretching up to orbital stations. Earth looked like something from the most advanced science fiction movie. On the hegemony ship, Ambassador Vorthak watched in shock. The primitive world he had been observing was gone. In its place was a civilization more advanced than his own. By the 7 moons, he whispered. What have we been watching all these years? Science Officer Kylaxia was recording everything. Sir, their cities are incredible. Look at those energy readings. Their technology is far beyond ours. Agent Lim, Dayun was still pretending to be a primitive human, but inside she was smiling. Finally, she could stop acting stupid. The revelation sent shockwaves across the galaxy. The Galactic Assembly received the broadcast. Emergency meetings were called. Every species tried to understand what this meant. Counselor Threx of the Corthanian Empire was furious. This is an act of war, he declared. They have been spying on us for decades. They must be destroyed immediately. Elder Sylvana of the Etherian Collective disagreed. Perhaps they were simply protecting themselves. We should try to understand their reasons before we act. War leader Gorthak of the Brutarian clan saw opportunity. If they are truly advanced, they could be valuable allies or dangerous enemies. We must choose carefully. Back on Earth, the reactions were mixed. Some humans were excited. Finally, they could stop hiding. Others were afraid. The galaxy might attack them now. Admiral Bae Kyung-soo was ready for either reaction. His hidden fleet was now visible to alien sensors. Hundreds of advanced warships surrounded Earth. Their weapons were powered up and ready. All ships, this is Admiral Bae, he broadcast. Maintain defensive positions. Do not fire unless fired upon, but be ready for anything. Captain Yoon So-young looked at her tactical display. Alien ships were moving toward Earth from all directions. Some looked friendly, others did not. Captain, her weapons officer said, the hegemony ships are charging their weapons. Acknowledged, Yoon replied. Charge our quantum torpedoes. If they want to fight, we will give them one they will never forget. On the hegemony flagship, General Vex was angry. He commanded the military forces watching Earth. For years, he had thought he was protecting the galaxy from primitive humans. Now he learned he had been protecting the galaxy from the most advanced species in known space. This cannot be allowed. General Vex said to Ambassador Vorthak. They have made fools of us all. We must show them that deception has consequences. What do you suggest? Ambassador Vorthak asked. We demand their immediate surrender. If they refuse, we demonstrate our power. A few destroyed cities will show them we are serious. Ambassador Vorthak considered this. The humans had lied for 30 years. They had studied alien technology in secret. They had built weapons while pretending to be harmless. This was exactly the kind of threat the Galactic Assembly was supposed to prevent. Very well, he decided. Send them our demands. Total surrender. Within 1 hour, or we will use force. The message was sent to Earth. Director Kang read it and laughed. They want us to surrender? He said to Dr. Park. After 30 years of preparation? They have no idea what they are asking. Dr. Park looked worried. Director, we always planned to reveal ourselves peacefully. We never wanted a war. Neither did I, Kang replied. But we will not surrender to bullies. We spent 30 years getting ready for this moment. Now we will show them what humanity can do. Kang opened a communication channel to Admiral Bay. Admiral, the aliens have demanded our surrender. What is your assessment? Director, our fleet is superior to theirs in every way. Our weapons are more advanced. Our shields are stronger. Our ships are faster. If they want to fight, we will win. And if more alien ships arrive, then we will defeat them too. We have been preparing for this for 30 years. We are ready. Commander John Hyawan was monitoring alien communications. She detected something worrying. Admiral, she reported, I am detecting quantum signatures from multiple star systems. More alien fleets are coming, lots of them. Admiral Bay nodded. Expected. The galaxy is responding to our revelation. Some will come as friends, others as enemies. We must be ready for both. On the alien ship, Agent Lim Da-un knew she had to act. The situation was getting dangerous. If the aliens attacked Earth, millions of people would die. She had one card left to play. A virus hidden in her fake jewelry. If she could get to the ship's main computer, she could plant the virus and disable their weapons. But first, she had to stop pretending to be primitive. Lim stood up in the ship's garden. She had been picking vegetables and acting confused. Now, she spoke in perfect hegemony language. Science Officer Kylaxia, she said clearly, I need to speak with you. Kylaxia turned around, surprised. The primitive human was speaking perfect alien language. How was that possible? You can speak our language? Kylaxia asked. I have always been able to speak your language, Lim replied. I am Agent Lim Da-un of Earth Intelligence. I have been observing your operations for 2 years. Kylaxia's compound eyes widened. You are a spy. Yes. And I have a message for your leadership. Earth does not want war. But if you attack us, you will regret it. Our weapons are far more advanced than you know. The revelation was complete. The masquerade was over. Now both sides had to decide what came next. Peace or war. Cooperation or destruction. The galaxy held its breath and waited. Dr. Choi Min-ho was excited. Too excited. He had been working on the new communication system for 6 months. The quantum entanglement array would let humans talk to their secret colonies across the galaxy instantly. No delay. No alien detection. Perfect. Just one more test, he said to his assistant. Then we can show Director Kang. The laboratory was hidden 2 miles under the ocean floor. No one could find it. The walls were made of special metals that blocked all signals. At least that was what everyone thought. Dr. Choi pressed the activation button. The machine hummed to life. Energy flowed through quantum crystals. The array sent a signal to the human colony on Kepler 442b, 25 light-years away in less than 1 second. Perfect, Dr. Choi smiled. The signal is clear and strong. But something went wrong. The machine sent more power than planned. The quantum pulse was too strong. It broke through the laboratory's shielding. For exactly 0.3 seconds, a quantum signature escaped into space. Dr. Choi did not notice. His instruments showed everything was normal. The test was successful. He turned off the machine and started writing his report. 300 miles above Earth, science officer Kylaxia was bored. She had been studying primitive Earth for 2 years. The humans never did anything interesting. They farmed, they slept, they made simple tools. Very boring. Kylaxia was from the hegemony. Her species looked like large insects with 6 arms and compound eyes. She was very smart and loved solving puzzles. But Earth had no puzzles, just boring, primitive life. She was reading data from the morning scan when her computer made a strange sound. A quantum signature had appeared for 0.3 seconds. Then it disappeared. "That is impossible," Kylaxia said. "Primitive worlds cannot make quantum signals." She checked her instruments again. The reading was real. Something on Earth had sent a quantum pulse, but what? Humans did not have that technology. They barely had fire. Kylaxia started a deep scan of Earth. She used instruments that the humans did not know existed. These scanners could see through rock and metal. They could detect energy signatures from miles away. On the hegemony ship, Agent Lim Da-Yun was pretending to be a primitive human. She had been rescued from Earth 2 years ago. The aliens thought she was a simple farmer they were studying. They did not know she was Earth's best spy. Lim was in the ship's garden picking vegetables for dinner. She looked very normal. She wore simple clothes and spoke broken alien language. The aliens thought she was learning slowly because she was primitive. But Lim had secretly learned everything about the ship. She knew where every system was located. She knew the crew's schedules. She knew their weaknesses. Agent Lim noticed that science officer Kylaxia was acting strange. Kylaxia was running extra scans of Earth. She was asking the computer many questions. Something was wrong. Lim walked slowly past Kylaxia's station. She pretended to be looking at the pretty lights, but she was actually reading the computer screen. What she saw made her blood run cold. Kylaxia had detected the quantum pulse. She was now scanning Earth for technology signatures. If she found them, the masquerade would be over. Lim needed to warn Earth immediately, but she could not use the ship's communication system. The aliens would detect any message. She had to find another way. That night, Lim went to the ship's waste disposal unit. She dropped a small metal device into the garbage. The device looked like a broken piece of primitive jewelry, but it was actually a quantum transmitter. It would send a warning signal to Earth when the garbage was ejected into space. On Earth, Director Kang was sleeping when the emergency alarm woke him. He ran to the control room in his pajamas. "What is happening?" he asked. Dr. Park looked worried. "We received a coded message from Agent Lim. The aliens detected something. They are scanning Earth with deep sensors." Kang felt his heart sink. "What did they detect?" "We are not sure, but Dr. Choi was testing his quantum array today. Maybe there was a signal leak." Kang ran to the communication center. He called Dr. Choi immediately. "Did you test the quantum array today?" Kang asked. "Yes, Director. The test was perfect, no problems at all. Check your shielding systems, check them now." Dr. Choi ran to his instruments. His face went white. "Director, there was a small power surge. It lasted 0.3 seconds. I thought it was nothing." Kang closed his eyes. 30 years of perfect secrecy. Destroyed by 0.3 seconds of carelessness. "Lock down the laboratory," Kang ordered. "No more tests. No more signals." Nothing. Meanwhile, Science Officer Kylaxia was getting more suspicious. Her deep scans showed strange energy patterns under Earth's surface. The patterns were too regular to be natural. They looked like artificial structures. "Computer, analyze these energy signatures," she said. "Analysis complete. The signatures match advanced fusion reactors. Estimated technology level, Class 7 civilization." Kylaxia's compound eyes widened. Class 7 civilizations had faster-than-light travel. They had advanced weapons. They were definitely not primitive. "That cannot be right," she said. "Humans are Class 1 primitives. They use wooden tools." She ran the scan again, same result. There were fusion reactors under Earth's surface. Lots of them. The energy output was enormous. Back on Earth, engineer Kim Jae-won was having a bad day. His hologram projectors were working perfectly, but Kylaxia's new scans were too advanced. They could see through his illusions. "Director Kang," Kim said over the radio, "the alien scientist is using quantum scanners. Our holograms will not fool them. She will see the real city soon." Admiral Bae Kyung-soo was in his secret command center. He controlled all of humanity's hidden military forces. When he heard about the quantum detection, he started moving his ships. "All units prepare for possible contact," he ordered. "Move to defensive positions. Do not reveal yourselves unless ordered." Captain Yoon So-young received the order on her battleship. She moved her ship closer to Earth. Her crew prepared for battle. They hoped it would not be necessary, but they were ready. Commander John Hai-wan was watching alien communications. She saw increased activity on the hegemony ships. They were sending more messages. They were preparing for something. "Admiral," she reported, "the aliens are calling for backup. More ships are coming to Earth." Admiral Bae felt worried. If more alien ships arrived, the situation would get much worse. But he could not attack first. That would prove humanity was advanced and dangerous on Io. The hegemony ship, Kylaxia, was getting more excited. Every scan showed more impossible things: underground cities, advanced transportation systems, energy shields. This was not a primitive world. "Ambassador Vorthak," she called. "Please come to my station. I have something important to show you." Ambassador Vorthak arrived quickly. He was a tall, reptilian alien with sharp teeth and cold eyes. He had been watching Earth for 5 years. He thought he knew everything about humans. "What is it, science officer?" he asked. "Sir, I have detected advanced technology on Earth. The humans are not primitive. They have fusion reactors and energy shields. They are hiding their true civilization from us." Ambassador Vorthak looked at the scan results. His eyes narrowed. "Are you certain about this?" "Yes, sir. The quantum signatures are clear. This is a Class 7 civilization pretending to be Class 1. Ambassador Vorthak felt angry and confused. For 30 years, the hegemony had been watching Earth. They had seen only primitive humans. How could they have been so wrong? "Continue your scans," he ordered. "Find out everything. If the humans are lying to us, there will be consequences." Agent Lim heard this conversation from the garden. She pretended to be sleeping, but she was actually listening to everything. The situation was getting very dangerous. She had to warn Earth again. But how? She had already used her emergency transmitter. She needed another way to send a message. Lim remembered the ship's sensor array. If she could damage it slightly, it might send a malfunction signal that Earth could detect and decode. It was risky, but she had to try. That night, Lim snuck to the sensor control room. She used a small tool to damage one of the circuits. The damage was tiny. It would look like normal wear and tear. The sensor array started sending error codes. On Earth, human computers detected the codes. They decoded Lim's hidden message. "Deep scans active. Cover blown soon. Prepare for contact." Director Kang read the message and felt cold fear. The masquerade was falling apart. Soon the aliens would know the truth about humanity. And when they did, everything would change. The slip had happened. Now they had to face the consequences. Commander Zephyros was not a patient alien. He commanded the hegemony flagship Starcrusher. For 30 years he had watched boring primitive humans. Now he learned they had been laughing at him the whole time. "Enough talking," he said to Ambassador Vorthak. "These lying humans need to learn respect. I will show them hegemony power." "Commander, wait," Ambassador Vorthak said. "We should try diplomacy first." "Diplomacy is for equals," Zephyros replied. "These humans are liars and spies. They need to be taught a lesson." Zephyros walked to his weapons console. His ship had plasma cannons that could destroy cities. He would target what looked like a major human population center. One destroyed city would make the humans surrender quickly. "Target the largest city," he ordered his weapons officer. "Fire a warning shot. Destroy one building. Show them we are serious." The weapons officer hesitated. "Sir, there are millions of people in that city." Then they should have thought about that before they lied to us, Zephyros said coldly. Fire! The plasma cannon charged up, energy built to dangerous levels. Then it fired. A bright blue beam shot toward Earth. It aimed for the center of Tokyo. The beam was powerful enough to vaporize a city block, but something impossible happened. The beam hit an invisible barrier 50 miles above the city. The plasma, energy scattered harmlessly in all directions. Tokyo was completely safe. What? Zephyros shouted. How is that possible? On Earth, Lieutenant Colonel Lee Sung-min smiled grimly. He was now in his real job, commanding Earth's planetary defense, GRID. The energy shields had been hidden for 30 years. Now they protected every major city on the planet. Shield generators working perfectly, Lee reported to Admiral Bay. The alien attack did no damage. Admiral Bay felt angry. The aliens had attacked first. They had tried to destroy a human city. Now humanity had the right to defend itself. All ships, Admiral Bay broadcast to his fleet. The aliens have fired on Earth. We are now authorized to defend ourselves, decloak and engage. Around Earth, space itself seemed to ripple. Hundreds of human warships became visible. They had been there all along, hidden by advanced stealth technology. Now they appeared like ghosts becoming real. The alien ships, suddenly, found themselves surrounded. Every direction they looked, they saw human battleships. The ships were huge and covered with weapons the aliens had never seen before. Captain Yoon So-young stood on the bridge of her flagship, the Thunder of Seoul. Her ship was 3 times larger than the biggest hegemony vessel. Its hull was black metal covered with energy patterns that hurt to look at. Target the ship that fired on Earth, she ordered. Prepare quantum torpedoes. Quantum torpedoes loaded and ready, Captain, her weapons officer replied. Fire. The Thunder of Seoul launched a single torpedo. It was not like any weapon the aliens had ever seen. The torpedo seemed to bend space around itself as it flew. Reality twisted in its wake. The torpedo hit Commander Zephyros's ship. There was no explosion. Instead, the ship simply ceased to exist. One moment it was there. The next moment there was only empty space. Commander Zephyros and his entire crew vanished in an instant. They did not even have time to scream. The other alien ships stared in shock. A single human weapon had completely destroyed their most powerful battleship. No wreckage, no survivors, nothing. By the 7 stars, whispered an alien captain. What kind of weapons do these humans have? The answer came quickly. Human ships opened fire all across the battlefield, but they were not using their strongest weapons. Admiral Bay wanted to send a message, not commit genocide. Human laser beams cut through alien armor like paper. Human missiles tracked their targets with impossible accuracy. Human ships moved faster than the aliens thought possible. 3 more. Alien cruisers were destroyed in the first 30 seconds. Their crews barely had time to send distress signals before they died. Pilot Han Ji-woo led a squadron of human fighters. His ship was small but incredibly fast. It could turn and spin in ways that broke every law of physics the aliens knew. Enemy. Fighters approaching, his wingman reported. I see them, Han replied. Let us show them how humans fight. The alien fighters were shaped like triangles with sharp edges. They fired energy bolts that glowed red. The pilots thought they were facing primitive human aircraft. They were very wrong. Han's fighter moved like liquid lightning. It dodged every alien shot while firing back with perfect accuracy. His weapons were small but incredibly powerful. Each shot destroyed an alien fighter completely. In less than 2 minutes, Han's squadron had destroyed 20 alien fighters. The humans lost 0 ships. This is impossible, said an alien pilot before Han's lasers cut his ship in half. On the hegemony, command ship General Vex watched his fleet being destroyed. Half of his ships were already gone. The humans were not even trying hard. Retreat, he ordered. All ships, retreat immediately. But the human ships were faster. They caught the fleeing aliens easily. More alien ships exploded in bright flashes of light. Agent Lim Dayun was still on one of the alien ships. She felt it shake as human weapons hit nearby vessels. She knew she had to act fast. Lim ran to the ship's main computer. She plugged in her fake jewelry, which was actually a quantum virus transmitter. The virus spread through the alien computer systems like wildfire. Suddenly, the alien ships could not communicate with each other. Their weapons stopped working. Their engines failed. The virus was designed to disable, not destroy. "What is happening?" Science Officer Kylaxia shouted as her screens went dark. "Human cyber warfare," Lim replied calmly. "Your ships are now disabled. Surrender and you will not be harmed." In space, the battle was over. Most of the alien fleet was destroyed. The surviving ships were floating helplessly, their systems crashed by Lim's virus. Commander John Hyawan was monitoring alien communications across the galaxy. What she saw made her worried. "Admiral," she reported urgently, "I am detecting massive fleet movements from 12 star systems. The entire galactic assembly is mobilizing. Thousands of ships are heading toward Earth." Admiral Bay felt his stomach drop. His fleet had easily defeated the local alien forces. But thousands of ships from multiple species? That would be much harder. "How long until they arrive?" he asked. "The fastest ships will be here in 6 hours. The main fleets will arrive in 18 hours. Admiral Bay made a quick decision. "Send a message to all human colonies. Emergency mobilization. Every ship, every weapon, every soldier. Bring them all to Earth immediately." "Sir, that will take days, maybe weeks. Then we hold the line until they arrive." On the disabled alien command ship, Ambassador Vorthak was trying to understand what had happened. His powerful fleet had been destroyed in minutes. The humans had weapons beyond his imagination. "Science Officer Kylaxia," he said weakly, "what is your analysis of human military capability?" Kylaxia looked at her readings with fear. "Sir, their technology is at least 50 years ahead of ours, maybe more. Their weapons use principles we do not understand. Their ships are faster than our best interceptors. How many ships do they have? Unknown, but based on what we just saw, they could destroy the entire hegemony fleet." Ambassador Vorthak felt cold fear. The Galactic Assembly was sending thousands of ships to fight these humans. But if the humans were this powerful, those ships might not be enough. On Earth, Dr. Park Hyojin was trying to contact the alien survivors. She spoke into her communicator using perfect hegemony language. "Alien vessels, this is Dr. Park Hyojin of Earth. We do not wish to continue this battle. Surrender, now, and we will treat your crews with respect." Some alien ships began sending surrender signals. Their crews had seen enough. They did not want to die fighting impossible odds. But other alien captains were too proud to surrender. They tried to restart their engines and fight back. Human ships destroyed them quickly and efficiently. Director Kang watched the battle from his command center. In 30 minutes, humanity had gone from hiding to winning their first space battle. But he knew this was just the beginning. "Dr. Park," he said, "prepare a message to the Galactic Assembly. Tell them that Earth is willing to negotiate, but also tell them that we will defend ourselves if attacked." "What if they do not listen?" Dr. Park asked. "Then they will learn the same lesson as these ships," Kang replied grimly. In space, the surviving alien vessels floated helplessly. Their crews stared in shock at the human ships surrounding them. These were not the primitive farmers they had expected to find. The masquerade was over. The first battle was won. But the real war was just beginning. Across the galaxy, alien fleets were racing toward Earth. Some came to destroy the lying humans. Others came to learn from them. All of them would soon discover that humanity was the most dangerous species in the galaxy. The chaos had begun, and Earth was ready for whatever came next. 18 hours after the first battle, the alien reinforcements arrived. Thousands of ships from dozens of worlds filled the space around Earth. Battleships from the Corthanian Empire, carrier fleets from the Etherian Collective, war cruisers from the Brutarian clans. The largest military force in galactic history had come to deal with humanity. Admiral Bae Kyung-soo stood on his flagship and watched them arrive. His own fleet had grown too. Human ships from 12 secret colonies had answered his call, but he still faced odds of 10 to 1. Admiral, Commander John Haiwan reported, the alien fleets are taking positions around Earth. They are not attacking yet. They seem to be waiting for something. They are waiting for orders from the Galactic Assembly, Admiral Bay replied. The question is, will those orders be for peace or war? On the assembly station far from Earth, the Emergency Council was meeting. Representatives from 47 species argued loudly. The discovery of humanity had shocked everyone. A species that could fake being primitive for 30 years was dangerous. Councillor Threck slammed his fist on the table. These humans are liars and spies. They have been watching us for decades. They must be destroyed before they destroy us. Elder Sylvana spoke more calmly. Perhaps we should ask why they felt the need to hide. Maybe they were afraid of us. Maybe they had good reasons. War leader Gorthak laughed. Good reasons? They built weapons while pretending to be farmers. They lied to the entire galaxy. That is not fear. That is planning for war. The argument continued for hours. Some species wanted to attack Earth immediately. Others wanted to negotiate. A few wanted to run away and hide. Finally, the assembly voted. The decision was close. 24 votes for war, 23 votes for peace. Humanity would be given one chance to explain themselves. If the explanation was not good enough, the galaxy would unite to destroy them. On Earth, Director Kang received the Assembly's message. He had 1 hour to convince the galaxy that humanity deserved to exist. 1 hour to justify 30 years of lies. Dr. Park, he said, prepare for broadcast to the entire galaxy. This is the most important speech in human history. Dr. Park Hyojin set up the communication system. Soon, every intelligent being in the galaxy would hear Director Kang's words. Their future depended on what he said, but Director Kang had a secret. The accidental quantum signal that started everything was not an accident. Dr. Choi Min-ho had sent it on purpose. Humanity had been planning this moment for years. Citizens of the galaxy, Director Kang began his broadcast. I am Director Kang Dae-ho of Earth. You know us as primitive farmers. Today, you learn we are much more. You feel betrayed. You feel lied to. You are right to feel these things. Across the galaxy, billions of beings listened. On Earth, humans held their breath. This speech would decide if they lived or died. 30 years ago, Kang continued, we detected your signals. We learned about the Galactic Assembly. We learned about your rules. Advanced species that became threats were destroyed. So we made a choice. We would become advanced in secret. Kang paused. You ask why we lied. The answer is simple. We wanted to live. We studied your history. We saw what happened to species that revealed themselves too early. They were conquered or destroyed. We chose a different path. On the assembly station, some representatives looked uncomfortable. Kang was telling the truth. The galaxy did have a history of destroying inconvenient species. But we did not hide to attack you, Kang said. We hid to survive. For 30 years, we could have struck at any time. We had weapons. We had ships. We had opportunities. But we chose peace. We chose to wait. Agent Lim Da-un was still on the alien ship, now as an honored guest instead of a prisoner. She watched the alien crew listen to Kang's speech. Their faces showed surprise and confusion. He is telling the truth, Science Officer Calaxia whispered. They could have attacked us years ago. Why did they wait? Kang's speech continued. We are not your enemies. We are your neighbors. We want to join the galactic community as equals. We want to share our knowledge and learn from yours. But we will not be conquered. We will not be destroyed. If you force us to fight, you will lose. This was not just a diplomatic speech, it was also a threat. Kang was telling the galaxy that humanity was too powerful to destroy easily. You doubt our strength, Kang said. Let me show you something. On screens across the galaxy, an image appeared. It showed a dead planet in a distant solar system. The planet was completely lifeless. No atmosphere, no surface features. Just A smooth ball of rock. This planet was destroyed by one of our test weapons, Kang explained. One weapon, one ship, 15 minutes. This is what happens when you force humanity to defend itself. The image shocked the galaxy. The weapon that destroyed that planet was beyond anything they had ever seen. It had not just killed everything on the surface, it had melted the entire planet smooth. Admiral Bay smiled grimly as he watched the alien fleets around Earth. Many of the ships were pulling back. Their commanders were reconsidering their orders. Engineer Kim Jae-won was busy activating more systems on Earth. Hidden shipyards in the asteroid belt came online. Massive construction facilities that had been building ships for decades revealed themselves. The shipyards were enormous. Each one was larger than most space stations. They had been producing warships continuously for 30 years. Hundreds of completed ships waited in their bays. Captain Yoon So-young received new orders. All colony fleets return to Earth immediately. Show them our real strength. Across the galaxy, human ships began moving. They came from 12 secret colonies. They came from hidden bases. They came from places the aliens never knew existed, the alien fleets around Earth suddenly found themselves facing much larger human forces. For every alien ship, there were now 2 human ships. The odds had reversed. Counselor Threx watched his war fleet become outnumbered and outgunned. His dreams of destroying humanity vanished. Instead, he worried about humanity destroying his empire. Perhaps, he said quietly, we should reconsider our position. Elder Sylvana had been right all along. Humanity was not the enemy. They were the future. A species that could hide an entire civilization for 30 years was not to be underestimated. Dr. Choi Min-ho revealed his final surprise. The quantum communication system he had been testing was not just for Earth's colonies. He had been listening to alien communications for years. Humanity knew every secret, every weakness, every fear of every species in the galaxy. We know about the hegemony's financial problems, Kang said in his broadcast. We know about the Korthanian civil war. We know about the Etherian plague. We know about the Brutarian rebellion. We have been watching you as carefully as you have been watching us. This was the final shock. Humanity had not just hidden their civilization. They had been spying on everyone. They knew the galaxy's secrets better than the galaxy knew its own. The vote on the assembly station was taken again. This time, the result was unanimous. Humanity would be granted full membership in the Galactic Assembly, with no conditions, with no oversight, with complete equality. War leader Gorthak spoke for everyone. We welcome humanity to the galactic community. We apologize for our hostility. We look forward to learning from your advanced civilization. It was a complete reversal. The species that had been threatening to destroy humanity were now begging to be their friends. Director Kang smiled as he read the Assembly's new message. Dr. Park, prepare our response. Tell them we accept their offer, but also tell them that the galaxy is about to change. The age of human expansion has begun. Captain Yoon So-young received her new orders. Lead the first wave of official human colony ships to the galactic frontier. The secret expansion was over. Now, it would be open and unstoppable. Engineer Kim Jae-won activated the massive shipyards around Earth. They began producing not warships, but colony ships. Thousands of them. Humanity was ready to spread across the galaxy. The masquerade was over. The revelation was complete. The chaos had ended. Now came the new order. Humanity had spent 30 years preparing for this moment. They had hidden their strength, studied their enemies, and planned their emergence perfectly. The galaxy thought it was welcoming a new member species. Actually, it was surrendering to its new rulers. The primitive farmers had become the most powerful force in galactic history, and they were just getting started. In the end, humanity's greatest weapon was not their advanced technology. It was their patience. While other species fought and conquered, humans watched and waited. When they finally revealed themselves, it was too late for anyone to stop them. The galaxy belonged to humanity now. Not through conquest, but through preparation. The long game was over. Humanity had won.